Hi everyone, welcome to today's class. Today we're going to see foreign exchange risk management. So, foreign exchange risk management, kind of foreign exchanging. Oh, exchanging rupees to dollar, dollar to rupees, euro, and extra. Okay. So, in this, how the risk will be managed? This is the foreign risk management. So, for this exchange rate volatility, okay, it is unpredictable. It may be a less or it may be a more. Okay. For this price, there are many factors that affect the movement of the exchange rates. So for this economic fundamental, monetary policy, fiscal policy, global economy, speculations, domestic and foreign political issues. So this market psychology, rumors, technical factors, the exchange rate volatility pose a risk that is called a foreign exchange risk. So in this current currency risk, so this is to business sector in a particular the important and exporters for those ones who associated with the international businesses. So although the business could not control the fluctuation of the exchange rate, but they can manage the risk by using the proper hedging tools. So proper hedging means it may be a forward, future, options in order to manage their revenues and cost more effectively. And the next one is under foreign exchange risk management. This is the technique how they will manage the risk by techniques. Technique one by one. First in risk factor, risk sharing. Okay, this risk sharing is mainly from the seller and buyer. So which they both agree to share the currency risk in order to keep a long term relationship. And based on the product quality and supply reliability, they have to agree first. And diversification means it can be done by the firms by using the funds in more than one capital market and in more than one currency. So the next one is natural hedging. Okay, natural hedging means it is a relationship between a revenue and cost of a foreign subsidiary. Sometimes provides a natural hedge, so which gives the firm an ongoing protections. Next one is payment netting. Payment netting means this method can be used if the company is having exposed in the multiple currencies. So the method gives an easy control to the company at the time of conversion because all the payments are netted to one single transactions. So and allow the company follows a consistent policy, and this also allows to reduce transaction cost also. And the next one is leading and lagging. So this method works by adjusting the payment required reflecting future currency movements. So it is a zero sum game. So because if there is a received blocked in their respective currency, it will allow them to use it against payable in the same currency. Next one is cross hedging. Cross hedging means if a conversation consists more than a one currency, then cross hedging is used. For an example, if an importer receiving a payment in Chinese and it cannot be directly converted into INR, okay, rupees. So it is the first converted into USD and then INR. So in this, it is a cross hedging. It means a cross hedging. Next one is overseas loans. So overseas loan means foreign currency which is denominated debt. Okay, a trade can avail a loan into two different countries. So the credit in home currency which have exchange rate risk in other in the foreign currency which is free from exchange rate risk. So which is usually this method is used if your payment and receivables are in foreign currency. So next one, money market hedge. So which means it is a costly and unused strategy. Why means in this method the companies borrow in foreign currency and lends in some currency which will lead to losing on their spread. So instead of this strategy they can use forward hedging. Next one is borrowing policy. So which means every company needs to have a strong borrowing policy. It needs to know whether to go for a long term loans or a working capital loans. And the next one which we gonna see is we have seen the techniques and derivative instruments. Okay, under this we're gonna see derivative instruments of foreign risk management. So under this first one is forward. Okay, forward means it is a derivative product. So which contract holders enters into a forward contract made today for a delivery of an asset. So at a predefined time in a future at a price agreed upon today. So these contracts are custom made. This quantity time period can be adjusted according to the parties' understanding. So the basic disadvantages is type contacts are found suitable counterparty if the rates move unfavorably, because if the rate is high, the buyer will suffer. If the rate is low, seller will suffer. So that it will end up in paying more. So for next one is a future. Future means these contracts are the same as a forward, but these contracts are traded through exchange and they have a fixed quantity. They already fixed the quantity and time period. So whatever the time, if it has a increase or if it has a decrease, they already fixed to change the thing. So it is the same amount which is stable. Okay. The next one is options. Options means these types of contracts give the buyer the right to buy and sell. So, but it is not an obligate to buy and sell. So, options are considered as an appropriate hedging. So, instrument because of its flexible and in the conditions and avoid losses. So, a buyer, if these contracts can avail them by just paying a premium, means options always provide unlimited gains and limited loss. So next one is swap. Swap means in this type of agreement, two parties exchange rate, okay, the principal and interest amount in a different currency. So in this, the principal amount of two parties are exchanged at the spot rate. So using the right technique at the right time is the key step to be taken by a business and individuals. So these markets are unpredictable and extremely volatile. So managing forex risk require regular monitoring of the forex marketing and loads the patience. So the forex advisory team at forex which has a lot of experience in the risk management. Okay. The next which we are going to see, risk sharing. How will they share the risk? Natural hedging, we already seen this all. Again it's repeated. After that only we saw the forward and backward diversity. Okay, same thing. See, then we're gonna see foreign exchange risk definitions. So what is risk means? It is refers that the risk of unfavorable changes. So which is not favorable because it is a risk. The settlement value of transactions entered in the currency other than the base currency domestic currency. So the risk arises as a result moment in the best currency rate on the denominated currency rates. So and is also called exchange rate risk or a foreign exchange risk. So the currency risk. Okay. There are three types of risk. The first one, transactions. So how the transaction risk will be? So where the business transaction are entered in a currency other than the home currency of the organizations. So then there is a risk of a change in the currency rates in adverse direction from the date of entering the transaction on the date of settlement. So this type of foreign exchange risk is known as transaction risk. So this arises on the actual portable import and export transactions. The next one is translation risk. So which means where the business organization has a foreign subsidiary whose reporting currency is other than the reporting currency of the parent company. So then for consolidation purposes, the subsidiary balance sheet items are converted into the parent company's reporting currency on the basis of the prevailing accounting standards. The risk of the moment in the consolidated financial positions and earning as a result of the exchange rate as determined translation risk. The next one is economic risk. So it is the risk of change in the market forecast. So if the company's business in a future cash flow as a result of a change in exchange risk. So this is in turn impact the market value of the firm. For example, monopoly product, okay, of a company starts facing a market value of the firm competitions. So when a lower exchange rate renders the important product cheaper. So the type of foreign exchange risk is also termed as a forecast risk. So when a company invests in a security in other than home currency, then the rate of the return is combination of the rate of the return in foreign currency and the rate of appreciation or depreciation in exchange rate. By the formula is 1 plus RH equal to 1 plus RF into 1 plus or minus REX. Okay. So in this RH, H means home or base currency. Rate of return in a home on base, H for home or base currency. F or F, okay, F for foreign currency, denominated or a foreign currency. So rate of return in denominator or foreign currency. In EX means exchange rate. Okay. So rate of appreciation or depreciation, exchange rate. If it is appreciation, it is a plus. If it is depreciation, it is a less. Okay. So 1 plus the home currency equal to the rate of foreign currency plus plus or minus rate of exchange rate. So for the example they have given, see the US based multinational, you can go through your material if you have a doubt. So US based on multinational wishes to invest surplus funds, okay, of the USD 1 million. So it has an option to invest the same in US corporate funds, so and earn the returns 2.5 per annum. So the treasurer is considering another option to invest the same Turkish corporate and bonds get the return, okay, get the return in exchange rate today. So the company, okay, the company to today the 1 USD, after 1 year the exchange rate is expected to be 1 USD 4.3. Okay, the advice which investment is better, the solution is RH, means rate of return in home. Okay, RH is equal to 2.5 percentage, which they already got 2.5 percentage. Then this is known as Turkish corporate and get a return. Okay, they will get a return from a 20 percentage, means foreign currency. The Turkish means they US asked, US got the foreign currency 20 percentage, means rate of return in dominated foreign currency. So by this they have to find after the year exchange rate to be 1 USD equal to 4.3 try. Try means the according to Turkish. Okay. So which investment is better, they are asking. So foreign rate of appreciation exchange rate equal to, in this into, okay, in this it will go to the minus. So by this, because we are finding the exchange rate, okay, exchange rate, for exchange rate 1 plus RH divided by 1 plus RF. So it will go by divided. So equal to 1 plus 20 percentage, okay, into 1 minus 14 percentage. They already said, one sec. Okay, how the 14 percentage will came means, see, they are told they told exchange rate today is 5 try. Okay, 5 try. After the year, 1 USD equal to 4.3 try. Okay, after the year they are telling, so that they have to find 5 minus 4.3, the how much is the differences divided by 5. Okay, they need to find the depreciation by formula. So it is a 14. So by this they found 1 plus 20 percentage into 1 minus 14 percentage. So it has reduced some 5 to 4.3, it is a 0.7. Okay, 0.7 reduced, it is a depreciation in the exchange rate. So by this the total amount of the home amount means 3.2 percentage. So by this foreign exchange fluctuation provides an opportunity. I already explained this all. Opportunity of gaining from favorable government in the currency of open foreign exchange positions. So this is the availability of numerous new and innovative products to hedge the risk. So this risk can be hedged by pairing the open position in the currencies with exactly the same and exactly opposite foreign exchange moments, the flexibility of hedging the risk of an exchange, so the traded or an over the counter, so OTC. Okay, so hedging the risk involves the additional cost, so this results in a margin requirements along with the change in a foreign exchange rates. So by this the limitations, what are the two limitations? Okay, the first one is high volatility of foreign exchange market, so which is affected by a change in a global policies, economic situations. Further, these changes are reflected in a exchange rates instantly as a markets operates on a 24 hours basis. Hence, a person needs to be on his toes to speculate in this market and to capitalize on foreign exchange risk. Second one is secondly, a perfect hedge is rare to locate in the market. The exchange traded derivatives are often standard and hence results in an incomplete hedge. So, which continues to pose risk. So, the OTC, okay, OTC means over the counter. The market tries to solve the issue but results in increased in a cost and counterparty credit risk. The next which we gonna see under foreign exchange risk means same introduction. So it is the most common form of a market price, so which is managed by treasurers. So the other common ones being interest rate and commodity risk is, it is one of the several groups of risk that business must manage within their ERM, means enterprise risk management framework. So introduction mainly see based on identify. So by identify they have to maintain gather underlying exposure from the cash flow. Forecast means foreign, based on, sorry, not for foreign, it's a future casting. Okay, so for this they have to underlie the exposure, how the exposure would be. They have to identify. After the identify they have to analyze the value at risk, how much the risk and other metrics of the foreign exchange, how much the risk of the foreign exchange they need to analyze. Then after the analyzing they have to hedge the forward. Hedge the forward means options and combine the strategies. Yeah, how the options and combined strategies will be. And finally they have to monitor. Monitor means they have to daily mark to market to ensure that hedging works as intended and risk limits are not exceeded. The next one is objectives of foreign exchange risk management. So based on, before looking at the exposure determination, business must decide what are their objectives. Okay, the first one, what to hedge. What to hedge. First we have to know what is hedge. Do you know what is hedge? Hedging in accounting. Okay, the way of protecting. Okay, way of protecting or limit or qualify. So hedge mainly means it is an investment that protects your finances from a risky situation, so which helps to protect the in a risky situation. So this hedging is done to minimize the chances that your assets will lose their value. So it also limits your loss to known as the amount. Okay. So hedging mainly known as which used from the risk, which protects from the risk. So mainly what to hedge means how to protect. What to protect. Okay, what to protect means some business only hedge what is on balance sheet. They will only protect the balance sheet, that is a cash, bank balance, accounts receivables, accounts payables, while other hedge orders forecast to extent that they are exposed to foreign exchange losses from the price list. So by this, on the other hand, some business do not hedge at all, so believing that over time foreign exchange rates. So why hedge? Next one is why hedge. So which means hedging aims to ensure consistent results and to reduce a foreign exchange volatility, so between the forecast and actual performance. So this begs the question of what performance metrics is given priority. So some business hedge to manage accounting results and other business hedge to manage a cash flow or economic performance. And finally, how to hedge. How to hedge means business must decide on how to treat foreign exchange risk. So the most common hedge for foreign exchange risk is forward contracts, but other alternatives are complements, so which include foreign exchange options and natural hedging. So next one is foreign exchange exposure are normally categorized into three types. Okay, the first and second, third. The first one is transaction exposure. Transaction exposure, which means these come from the selling and buying activities using different currencies, balances in different currencies in a foreign exchange financial transactions like a foreign currency loans, deposits. The next one, net investment exposure, which means these come from the owning subsidiaries in foreign currency when there is a value in consolidated where there will be exchange differences in the accounts. So from the cash flow perspective, a foreign subsidiary can be considered as a foreign exchange assets. Then third one is economic or strategic exposure. So which means these come from the business competitive landscape. So for example, having a competitor operating in a different base currency. So may make foreign exchange rate changes in a strategic competitive risk. The next one, foreign exchange risk management policy. So which is means the above much must be expressed and specified in a clear foreign exchange policy. So which is typically written by a treasury and approved at the broad level. So this foreign exchange policy must be clearly the following details: hedging objectives, what is to be hedged, hedging tenor, hedging methodology, instrument to be used, and delegation and control. So finally risk limits. So these are the things under the risk management policies. The next one which we're going to see is identifying foreign exchange exposure. How they will identify. So by this, they have to find, once the policy has been set, which is normally in frequent activity, treasuries need to identify foreign exchange exposure. So that must be hedged is the most critical part of foreign exchange risk management. Inaccurate exposure data will lead to the wrong hedging, which will increase or rather than reduce. So by this most treasuries will need to a different cash flow forecast. So which means cash positioning. Okay, 3 to 30 days forecast means these are out of each bank account used to manage day-to-day bank balance sheet. They have to maintain. So after the 12-month cash flow, okay, these cash flows are usage to manage the subsidiary funding needs and liquidity group level funding. Then 3 to 7 years cash flow means it is a long term. Okay, so these long term liquidities they have to maintain in a group level of cash flow forecast, which is under group level. And finally foreign exchange cash flow, so which is forecast usually rolling 6 to 18 months. Okay, 6 to 18 months means 1 to 1.5 year. Okay, 6 months to 1.5 year. So these months depending on business exposure tenor used for hedging foreign exchange exposures. So their foreign cash flow forecast is typically different from the 12-month cash flow, which is normally in the base currency. So for foreign risk management, we need to know the cash flow expected in each currency. So in some cases, these 12-month cash flow may be in transaction currency, in which this can be used for foreign risk management, as well as the foreign subsidiary group short-term funding liquidity. And next one is under one sec. I already told this all. Cash positioning above the 12-month, 3 to 7 long-term foreign exchange cash flow. Okay. So by this, the next one is unknowable direct and indirect exposures. So when forecasting foreign exchange cash flow, it is important to identify the economic exposure currency. So particularly if it's different from the invoice currency, a local currency invoice may hide the currency clause or automatic repricing of a commodity globally priced in a USD. So this is referred to as indirect foreign exchange risk. So when the invoice currency is the same as the risk currency, means it is referred to as a direct foreign exchange risk. So indirect foreign exchange risk can arise when the underlying product or a commodity is globally priced. So for example, the USD, okay, but the invoicing currency is a local currency, because the local currency is a clear and cheaper to settle domestically. By this, even though the invoice is in the local currency, the amount will vary monthly depending on the global USD price. So these currency clauses can also distort reported or apparent foreign exchange exposure, because they may trigger changes in the invoice currency amount depending on the market price of the other currency stated in currency clause. So for this reason, currency clause should generally be avoided. If they cannot be avoided, currency clauses must be notified it and preferably approved the treasury. And finally, based on this, analyzing foreign exchange risk. So how will they analyze? Okay, so by this, the foreign exchange risk both before and after treatment of hedging, also known as a gross or net exposure, which is commonly analyzed in the following ways. So by this, the first one, notional exposure. Sorry, notional. This is the typing error. So notional exposure, so which refers to the notional amount of the currency, which is defined forecast currency inflows less currency outflows. This gross notional exposure excludes hedge transaction, whereas the net notional exposure includes hedge transactions. These are often translated into base or functional currency for ease of reading. But given in that foreign exchange exposure, the choice of foreign exchange rate for such translations may have a big impact on the perceived exposure. Okay. Next one, market to market. So the notional currency exposure is translated at the relevant forward rates for the cash flow dates. So to determine their current market value in the base currency. So this can be done for gross and the net exposure. So and this is often compared with the mark to market at the time that exposure were fixed, created, unknown. Then next one is value at risk. So this refers to the value across the portfolio of foreign exchange exposure by applying the historical volatility correlation between the currencies, and is represent the maximum loss of the foreign exchange exposure portfolio within the certain unwinding period. So this certain statistical probability. Okay. The next one is stress testing. Testing is mainly VAR typically only uses 12 months of fixed rates, okay, and extreme rate movements. So which often occurs the longer intervals than 1 year. So it is good practice to stress test that foreign exchange exposure portfolio, sometimes a gross and always a net. So against worst case rates, this can be worst rate observed over decades or arbitrary extreme. So which rate exchanges such as 10% for OECD means 20% for others. So other larger percentage at a management discretion. So such analysis will form the basis of foreign exchange risk management evaluation and must be specified precisely in the foreign exchange policies. So based on this, the example means a business with a USD, okay, asset based on a currency concludes with a sale contract. So this contract without hedging, the business is subject to fixed exchange rate volatility. So that the business goes gross fixed exchange exposure is the future inflow of 100. So since this USD is based on a currency. So in summary, to do forward hedge, the business will sell euro 100, okay, forward against for maturity on the sales contract due to date when the business will receive the payment of EUR. So with the forward hedge in a place, on the due date the business receives EUR 100 from the customers and pay EUR 100 to the bank. So this is the bank pays the business approximately, and the forward rates is the function of the spot rates and to perceived USD 25 asset expected profit margins. So these are the foreign exchange risks. Okay. By this, today's class is over. We'll meet on next class. Take care. Thank you.